Oh, I'm on another ride. This time it's cold, chilly, so I'm just going to take a slow ride up to the Champlain lookout, starting my recording from here because everything else has been done to death. Quite a lot of traffic and construction stuff to get up here. But we're going to be taking a route through Hull, Gatineau here, that goes diagonally across an old railway line that used to come off of the Alexandra Bridge and cross into Hull. So we're going to make our way over there, and it's a bit of a shortcut to get there actually, rather than doing the usual stuff, just so I don't have to take the same route back. Plus trying to avoid any routes that go anywhere near the casino because there's a lot of flooding going on right now. So this has been really good for the lights so far. And this is the route. Goes diagonally, well, with a bit of waving, but diagonally across. Used to be a train across here. I don't know when it stopped. I guess whenever the train was taken out, but I've seen films of the train going through here in the past. So yeah, we'll make it diagonally across here. And just going through these tunnels that go underneath the 50 on my way up through Hull, an old part of Hull that leads over to the Gatineau Park. This is a really cool section that I've only been on once before this year. It just gets me across all of Gatineau, or the Hull sector of Gatineau. Yeah, very handy little route through onto quieter kind of residential streets. heading up the first hill of the Gatineau Parkway. I'm gonna do the whole loop today. I'm gonna do the 21K loop plus the little offshoot to the Champlain Lookout. This is Allumetière that I'm crossing over, and yeah, that's where I'm going. Hi. Well, I'm at the very base of Pink Lake Hill. Heading up now. This is one of the two biggest climbs of the whole time. This one's pretty steep and longish, but then I'm gonna go do the Fortune Loop Hill, and that's even longer. But I always love this hill. Feels good up and down. A little bit of rock slide going on here. But this is my second time going to the Champlain Lookout this year. Last time I had to ride over some ice and some snow, but it was pretty good. I did hit some ice at speed without noticing it soon enough, and that kind of freaked me out, but no issues, just enough to give you a fright. So yeah, we're heading up Pink Lake Hill, and we are almost 15K into the ride. And that's Pink Lake Hill done. Check the elevation gain there. There are just tons of kids here doing some kind of cycle thing. Very cool to see. Wish we had that when I was younger. That means they all just climb that hill. So that's not the highest point on the way up, or we have a lot of climbing to do still. That's one of the steeper sections. We're going to be going up again in a sec, then climbing again past Penguin Picnic Field, and then down to P8 in the lower part of the loop before heading up the Fortune Loop. This is one of the longish climbs. It's always a really tough one on skis, but it doesn't look super steep, but it's a long time up. So I just want to see what the difference is in the elevation here until I get to the top. Just going by Penguin Picnic Field, another high point here, long hill down to P8 and across to the lower part of the loop. I'm just about to cross where the number one goes from Chelsea up to Penguin. There's number one. the end of that lower loop and about to cross over Lake Road. Lovely sound of a motorbike. But this is about my lowest point for the next while, because this is the longest hill in the Gatineau Park that I know of. You can see my mileage is 26.4 at the bottom, and check my elevation as I go up. I'm not going to film the whole thing like this, but a fair bit. So just this little section on the road that goes to Camp Fortune, and then in a second I'm going to turn and go up the Gatineau Parkway. Or that motorbike is not ruining everything for everybody. So I'll climb for the next little while, and I'll show you how high it gets in a sec. Just coming up on the Huron Lookout, which may or may not be the highest point of the ride. I'll see. I just wanted to see how high it is compared to the Champlain Lookout, because it is a pretty high point with a great view. So we'll see when we get over there. Just gonna let it record the whole way there. But yeah, we came up the Fortune Parkway, and as all those pylons, when I turned the corner, or to show that it was blocked to go back down the other way. It's just funny because there's nothing blocking it the other way. That woman I was talking to, I passed her earlier. I don't remember where, but I'll have the footage of it because I think I filmed her, maybe not. Yeah, what a great lookout from here. And this is the last point, and down a little dip to the Champlain Lookout. And there we are, Champlain Lookout. Very empty, about the emptiest you'll see it for a while, probably because the weather is going to get so much better. I have everything set up for interpretation and stuff. And I'll take my spot. They added a few new benches. And there's the view. So that's the Champlain Lookout. I'm up on the wall that overlooks the entire lookout. Never had a chance to do this because there's always too many people. But yeah, it's a gorgeous spot. It's about 32k to get here, taking the route that I did, and about 30k to get back down the other route, which I'll only film a couple hills and that's it. So yeah, fantastic ride, even though it's not the best day. I think the high today is only 14. I think it might be 11 or 12 right now. Still fine. Anyways, let's have a snack. well, that should do it for another ride, or at least the filming part. I'll be home in about 10k, but just gonna end this video now because everything else is pretty repetitive from other rides. That was a super nice ride up to the Champlain Lookout, even if it wasn't very warm. Probably one of the coolest days we'll have for quite a while, at least our high. And yeah, thanks for coming out. That was really nice. Good to get out and get some exercise after a week of being laid up because of a bad back and bad weather. So hopefully this starts a new section of great riding for the next little while. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next one.